Hello, today I'm going to be talking about my very own Lego post office. Now, I've been building this for a few days now. Actually, it's probably been a few weeks, a week or two, and it's going to be the starring location of my brick film about Lego Mailman. I've actually done a Lego brick film before on a pretty major scale about little micro bunnies. Most people won't know what that is, but I don't have any near me to show off. Basically, it's just a small brick-built bunny, but I made a whole film out of them, and it will be on YouTube eventually. I'm just screening it to film festivals, trying to see if any of them will accept it. So until then, it'll be, honestly, if you ask me, I'll send you a copy of it. But yeah, it's not public yet. But the next film, in a similar vein, will be about Lego Postmen, because I just love the Lego post office and I love the quaintness of it. And I really wanted to do a joyful film. And after building this guy, being kind of inspired by the post office, the fun post office experience, not experience, the atmosphere, the feel, I've decided to make a whole film centered around him. This guy himself, he's a little bit robotic, but he's very joyful. He has the same color scheme as the post office, green, red, and blue. He has windows all over him. You can kind of see that inside of him there is a letter or a mailbox. His face is, of course, a mailbox. And he has a little attachment where you can put on different stuff, like this backpack, which, can hold mail, a mailbox inside of it, among other things, this little slot. And yeah, it's got a fun little antenna as well. And you can fit other characters in there too. Like, because I made this system of brick-built characters where they have pinholes on the back of them so they can slot in, and this mailman guy can carry them. So look at that. This wonderful cat creature, who will be in the film, is being carried. So that's basically the original stuff I designed, what I thought of. But later I came up with the post office itself, and I wanted to make it really big. And this is kind of something I had to sort of cut back on, because I could have splurged and bought more pieces, but I just don't have the money, and I don't have enough pieces to make a actual post office that is to scale to this, this pretty large figure. And I didn't want to change the figure. So I kind of devised the idea that there's two scales of this film. One that is, larger scale, and one that is minifigure scale. So I don't know. I made a few things in the larger scale, like this post office itself, which has this elaborate little doohickey. You're supposed to be able to push this out, and you can do that. I just don't have the pusher, using a rail system. I've kind of wanted to experiment with rail systems because I found them, interesting, but I don't really use them a lot. So I was trying to rectify that in this simple little machine. Not the greatest thing ever, but it works. And then this is another character, I guess a customer. I love these printed bricks that they put in freestyle stuff. They're just so fun and whimsical. I always love it when things take that Lego design, this classic smiley face, and they go one step beyond. Like, they add a little more detail, but it's still recognizably a Lego figure. And this is a perfect example of that. The shape, the simple eyes, not having a nose. Those are all like very minifigure design traits. And this basically has them, but also they're like, it's a little more detailed. It's, not the exact shape. It's got different eyes. The hair is different than any Lego hair. I just love stuff like that. Anyways, let's move on to the post office itself, which is actually, despite being scaled down a bit, is pretty massive. It actually comes in 3 different chunks, like a layer cake. I don't know if we can see that. Maybe I'll move the camera up. Like a layer cake. And this first one is the main one. I designed this roof that can open up. And I'm going to put a bed up there eventually, but it's not in there yet. And yeah, it can go up. The roof can open up, and you can take off this part to kind of reveal the under part. Because I want this to be like usable as like both a playset and as an actual like set for my film. And I think part of that includes, making so I can reach my hands in everywhere. So a lot of these roofs and walls are detachable. Here in this corner, I think this is one of the most very dense part of it. You can see. Yeah, this door opens up. It's a bit of a futuristic way the door opens up, going like that. I just wanted to be able to accommodate larger figure styles and have it be more cinematic instead of just a simple door. But it is a little more futuristic than I thought I would go for this set, because I do love how quaint and old-timey the post office is. So maybe it's a little bit of a, you know, maybe it doesn't match, but I don't know, I still love it. And I added this classic window piece to kind of counteract that, try to bring it back more to the quaintness that I enjoy. Yeah, looking at the top, this part of the roof comes off. This one is also a piece that comes off, although it's a little awkward getting it off. You kind of have to, yeah, you kind of have to jiggle it around. This part and this part also come off, and this part comes off. So that's how we're gonna get a nice view of, you know, the inside when I'm filming this, because, you know, I'm gonna need to actually use it to film stuff if it's for stop motion. And we have this nice little reception center with a mailman. I love this giant Fabuland chair. I wish I had more of them. I'd put them everywhere in this film if I did. But I only have one, but it's, you know, it's a great chair, so I'm using it as I see fit. This is the interior. There is not a ton going on yet. I don't know how much I want to put in here, but we have this little pile of packages and this little other mechanism using this Technic bushing piece. Spring piece, I don't know, with this nice little throne where you can put mail there, but it's also maybe like sitting. I really like Legos like chairs they make to accommodate different styles of figures, like the Fabuland version of a chair and then a Technic figure version of a chair, especially when there's no studs. You know, like Lego Friends also has a similar idea where they don't have specific chairs, but like molding, you know, like designing something specifically for that. You have some little cupboards here. And that's pretty much most of what's going on inside here. If we look at this side, there's actually more detail you can't see as well. Actually, first it's a little off balance. Yeah, let's fix that. Yeah, I love the elephant here. I think that's one of my favorite parts of it, the way he sticks out, the kind of design of the architecture itself. I don't know exactly how I describe it. I guess whimsical and a little bit gothic, but also whimsical, with like the amount of gray and, you know, the scary bat sticker from the Scary Laboratory. Such a great sticker. I'm so glad they made it like that. The next layer is pretty much an intermediate one. I wanted this one so I can kind of expand the post office if I want, depending on the scene. It's pretty simple. It's got windows on this side, and on this side it has continuation of the design. In the middle, I kind of have this little post, this little mailbox reception section, and two, I guess, wheelers. I don't even know what these are called. Use them to wheel packages and stuff. There's a name for them. I don't know. Maybe I should learn the name before I make a film about them. And the last section is this one. This is one I'm still pretty much a work in progress. Is a work in progress, mainly because there's not much going on inside of it, and I think the potential for building it up and expanding it is pretty big. I do have this nice section here that's a bit of a window drape pattern, and I'm using these printed pieces from the original Hogwarts Castle, which is one that I didn't part out on purpose. It just broke when I was a kid, and it was, there's a whole thing with that. But yeah, we've got a little perch here. If we turn it around, you can see how this looks from the other angle. I wanted to make it so you can see it on both sides. I'm not sure if I'm going to put windows here or how that'll work. That's for me to decide in the future. And this section is another play feature. One of my favorite ones, probably the most involved one. So you can see this tower going on, and it's got a bunch of funky things coming out of it. Very surreal, but the purpose of this tower is actually to be a chimney that packages and letters can drop into. As you can see right here, there's the window, and down here is the receptor. Let's take them out. Again, going with the rail system, but it actually comes in two parts because I have one part that acts as the lid, both for this and as a stopper of sorts. I guess a bit superfluous, but I thought it'd be fun to add a stopper. And this is the actual receptor for like packages to come in, using these firefighter doors that I think are very epic. So yeah, after you slot that in, I guess take off the stopper. The way you do it is simply you drop this down there, and I'm working out all the kinks because it does not work every single time, especially the ones with the top parts. Those are the most difficult ones. Oh, it's stuck in there. Let me fix it. I'm still working out this because this is like unexplored territory for me. Just kind of like relying on physics and stuff. Very system based, but still a little more technical than I'm used to. Let's try again. I guess I'll open this up so you can kind of see inside of it, get a clear view. The bricks work pretty well. It's just that when you put a tile on top, that kind of dimensions make it a lot more difficult. See, there you go. It works. I promise. It works. It works sometimes. There you go. Yeah. Even this one works sometimes, I swear. Yeah, it didn't go all the way in, but just took a little tap. But yeah, that's a part of the whimsy. I've tried imbuing this. I'm happy with this mechanism, even though it isn't perfect. I don't think it needs to be perfect, and that's kind of why I've kind of let it be, because it's already kind of messy and weird, and I don't want to work it out too much and make it, get rid of the character, because that's an important part to it. I want it to have character and be fun. Doesn't just have to have function. It also it's supposed to be silly and fun. And I think part of making it more functional would be making it more streamlined and more specific. So yeah, and also there's an antenna all the way at the top there, you can see. And that's pretty much the post office as I have it. I'm gonna, keep building it, keep adding different things. I guess this is another thing. This removable part is actually a snot technique in order to match up the round cylinder here. But that's either here or there. Yeah, I would definitely want to change some things about it, make it better, make it more structurally sound, and I want it to be a good playset, and I also want to be able to facilitate a good film. That's what I'm working on. And I just thought it'd be fun to talk about something I made, so this is that. Maybe I'll talk about other things, because I do have other sets. I have the set for the Lego Bunny film, which is pretty similar in execution to this. Lots of tan. I guess I could go into the color choice, but maybe some other day. That'll be all. Thanks for watching.